For 2 long weeks, a millionaire's mansion stood in silence. His little daughter lay in bed, refusing every meal. Doctors had come and gone, nutritionists, therapists, even faith healers. But nothing worked. Every morning, untouched plates of food returned to the kitchen. Every night, her father sat alone, waiting for a miracle that never came. But when a new maid crossed the iron gates one quiet morning, no one could have imagined she carried something no doctor ever could: hope. Ethan Cole's mansion stood on a cliff above the restless sea, its glass walls gleaming under the gray sky. From the outside, it was perfect: white marble steps, trimmed gardens, fountains whispering beneath olive trees. Inside, the air felt heavy, thick with grief. Every clock ticked, but time itself seemed broken. For 14 days, little Lily Cole hadn't eaten. She lay on her bed, eyes open but blank, her body shrinking as if fading from the world. On her bedside table sat a bowl of soup gone cold, a slice of bread turned stiff. Nothing had changed, except the silence. It grew louder with every passing day. Downstairs, Ethan sat at his desk, his eyes fixed on a computer screen he no longer saw. Once, he had been a celebrated architect, the man who built homes filled with light. But ever since his wife and his accident 3 years ago, every wall around him felt like a tomb. The world had praised him for creating houses that breathed. Now he lived in one that had forgotten how. Helen, the old housekeeper, entered quietly, placing a cup of coffee beside him. "She's still not eating, sir," she whispered. Ethan didn't answer at first. His voice, when it came, sounded hollow. "I know." He stared out the window toward the crashing sea. "Just keep trying." Morning light crept across the marble floor. The next day, when the sound of the front gate opening broke the silence, a small woman stepped in, clutching a faded canvas bag. Her sneakers were worn, her clothes simple, but her eyes held warmth. "Good morning," she said with a soft smile. "I'm Maria Alvarez. The agency sent me." Helen looked at her, unimpressed. "You're late." Maria nodded, apologetic. "The bus broke down. I took 3 others to make it here." Helen led her inside, reciting the house rules as if reading from memory. "You'll help in the kitchen, wash dishes, and follow instructions. Don't speak to Mr. Cole unless spoken to. Don't go near the girls' room. And don't ask questions." Maria simply nodded. But as Helen turned away, Maria's gaze lingered on the high ceilings and spotless counters. Everything was perfect, too perfect. She could feel it in the air, the weight of unspoken sorrow. In the kitchen, Maria washed her hands, set to work, and began chopping vegetables. The sound of the knife against the board echoed softly through the empty house. She didn't know much about the people living here, but she could sense one thing: grief lived in every corner. By noon, Helen returned. "Mr. Cole will take lunch in his office," she said. Maria carefully prepared the tray and carried it upstairs. The second floor was silent, the walls lined with photographs, a smiling woman with curls, a little girl in her arms. Maria paused. That smile, so full of light, now seemed like a ghost. She knocked gently on the office door. "Your meal, sir," she said. Ethan didn't look up. "Leave it there." She set it down, noticing the untouched coffee beside his computer. "Yes, sir." As she turned to leave, her eyes caught that same photograph on his desk, the woman and the child. Something tightened in Maria's chest. She whispered to herself, "God, help this house find life again." That evening, Helen prepared Lily's usual tray: carrot soup, toasted bread, almond milk. "She won't eat it," she murmured, her hands trembling. Maria watched quietly, then said, "Let me take it to her tonight." Helen froze. "That's not allowed." Maria's tone was gentle but firm. "Please, just this once." After a long pause, Helen sighed. "If the master finds out, you'll be dismissed." "Understood." Maria nodded. She carried the tray up the stairs slowly, as if holding something sacred. The door to Lily's room was half open. Inside, the child lay motionless, facing the window. The air felt cold, heavy with sadness. Maria set the tray down and sat on the edge of the chair beside the bed. "Hello, Lily," she whispered. No answer. I'm Maria. I just came today. Silence. Maria looked at the untouched soup. I once knew a little girl who wouldn't eat either, she said softly. She was sad. So I made her something special. Healing bread, my mother called it. She said it could fix even the saddest heart. For a moment, nothing moved. Then a faint sound, Lily's dry voice barely a whisper. Healing bread. Maria smiled gently. Yes, healing bread. Maybe I'll make some tomorrow. Would you like that? Lily blinked but said nothing more. Yet for the first time in days, her eyes weren't empty. The next morning, the smell of bread filled the mansion for the first time in years. Helen entered, surprised. What are you doing? Making healing bread. Maria replied with a smile. Just bread, olive oil, and salt. Helen hesitated, then said quietly, Do what you must. Maria placed a warm slice on a tray and carried it upstairs. Lily lay as before, but her eyes followed the sound of footsteps. Good morning, sweetheart, Maria whispered. I brought you something my mother used to make when the world felt heavy. She unfolded the cloth, revealing the golden bread. You don't have to eat it. Just smell it. That's the smell of hope. Lily's tiny fingers trembled as she reached for it. She tore off the smallest piece and placed it on her tongue. The silence stretched, then a tear slid down her cheek. Maria smiled. That's it, sweetheart. Take your time. Behind them, a man's voice broke the quiet. What's going on here? Ethan stood in the doorway, disbelief on his face. Who are you? Helen rushed in. Sir, this is a new maid. She was just, you fed her bread. Ethan snapped. Maria met his eyes calmly. Yes, sir. She didn't need medicine. She needed to be seen. Ethan froze. Before he could speak, Lily's fragile voice broke the tension. Daddy, I'm eating. The words shattered the silence like sunlight through fog. Ethan's eyes filled with tears. He stepped closer, voice shaking. I've tried everything, he whispered. Everything money could buy, but I couldn't save her. Maria spoke softly. She doesn't need you to fix her, sir. She just needs you to stay. Lily looked at her father. I was scared, she whispered. Scared that if I got better, you'd leave again. Ethan's knees gave way. He knelt beside the bed, clutching her hand. Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry, he choked. I thought working hard would keep you safe, but I forgot what you really needed, me. Lily rested her head against his shoulder. Just don't go, Daddy. He held her tighter. Never again. From that day, everything changed. The house began to breathe again. The next morning, laughter returned to the kitchen as Maria showed Lily how to knead dough. Flour covered their hands. Sunlight filled the room. Ethan watched from the doorway, unsure whether to join. Come on, Daddy, Lily giggled. You try. He hesitated, then rolled up his sleeves. Like this. Gentler, Maria teased. You're scaring the dough. For the first time in years, Ethan laughed. An honest, human laugh that filled the house like music. When the bread came out,